Supreme Court dismissed several cases on federal government and COVID vaccine mandates Monday. Those cases were filed against a pandemic-era mandate that required government workers to get vaccinated. In two of those cases, lower courts ruled against challengers to the mandate. In one, a lower court ruled in favor. The Biden administration rescinded vaccine requirements for federal workers in May. The justices determined that makes the cases moot.
States can prohibit licensed healthcare professionals from using conversion therapy on minors. That's the precedent from a 6-3 Supreme Court decision today to let a Washington state law stand. Conversion therapy seeks to change a person's gender, identity, or sexual orientation. It's widely discredited and often traumatizing. The person who challenged Washington's law is a family counselor who argues it violates his freedoms of speech and religion. Dissenters, Justices Samuel Alito and Clarence Thomas, write they would have taken up the case on First Amendment grounds. Washington does allow licensed therapists to suggest a client seek conversion therapy from someone else. They just can't practice it themselves.